So yesterday's story about Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy and her comments about the movie, the forthcoming movie featuring Rey Skywalker, and how it's going to be something special, and that it's about time here in 2024 that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away.
We have 50% of our executive team are women, and 6 out of 8 of the people in my story group are women. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be surprised that we're making Star Wars movies and the majority of the people involved in the development of those stories are women.
Now, a lot of people did misconstrue or mix that up, thinking that she was actually talking about Daisy Ridley's character Rey being the one to shape the story. She's actually talking about herself. And look, when I first read it, I read it the way many people did, incorrectly. But that doesn't really make it any better, folks. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why.
My greatest asset, to be honest, is that I'm a woman. I mean, many women that come from our part of the world think that it's a disadvantage. I've always thought that being a woman is my greatest asset.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Echo Base Network. This is not an outrage video at all. It's actually kind of laughable and comical at this point, coming from Lucasfilm, and none of it is going to surprise any of us. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy said recently in an interview, "I'm very thrilled about the project because I feel that we're going to create something very special. We're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away." Well, that is going to make a lot of people angry. In this article here at worldofreal.com, fanboy anger grows over director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's upcoming feminist Star Wars. And you would think by the title of this article that they're taking a shot at the fanboys. They're actually not. They're actually on the side that we're on, saying that Lucasfilm's doing a terrible job at reading the room, and why is Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, of all people, leading a feature film? This is just not a good thing. But it's not all good. Some people in the media, like Paul Tassi, not going to surprise any of you, I'm sure, especially through the wars being fought online with the sequel trilogy over the years, 2012 to 2017. Paul Tassi literally fought war after war in articles on social media. He hates people who do not like the sequel trilogy, Disney Star Wars, that is. He says the most innocuous Star Wars Rey movie quote is causing outrage, of course. And innocuous, of course, meaning something that isn't threatening, but it's being seen as such. And I definitely disagree with him here, even though he is correct. He is correct that many people misconstrued or got the quote wrong, thinking that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the director, was talking about Daisy Ridley's character shaping Star Wars. She's actually talking about herself. So let's look and see a little bit about Charmeen now.
I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
First of all, let's call it what it is. She's an activist filmmaker, period. And in her own words, she is a filmmaker who made films about women. Done very little film work in any regard outside of her documentary films. However, if you go back years ago, she said she doesn't think she will be a filmmaker of documentaries forever, that she will do other things. And we know, of course, that she did that with Ms. Marvel. How about that? A documentary filmmaker who makes stories and tells tales about real-life matriarchy and wanting to do everything that she can to elevate women and their standing around the globe. And that is her main concern as any type of person in media. Anything that she's done documentaries, shows. The only thing that she's done outside of her documentary films was Miss Marvel. Or the Marvel, whatever that show was called with the three girls. Yeah, Miss Marvel. Which, not good. Not good, folks. She is an activist filmmaker through and through. You could even see it here going all the way back to 2018. An activist filmmaker tackles patriarchy in Pakistan. Now, look, all of that isn't to say that it's bad. She made a documentary that focused on child marriage and showing the horrors of that. And that's something to which I agree with. I definitely agree with. The issue for me here isn't that women should have more rights or be elevated in status or whatever. The issue here for me is that shouldn't be the main thing you're trying to do if you're going to try to tell a Star Wars story. And I believe that she is so biased and that she's so filled with anger that she actually talks about it herself. She says, I am a filmmaker who uses all of the anger inside of me to make my movies. Well, that's very dangerous that she's going to be making a Star Wars movie. She even said back years ago, my films are motivated by a keen interest in highlighting issues that affect marginalized populations who were caught in difficult circumstances. Whatever kind of Star Wars story is this woman going to tell? Well, she's the perfect hire with Lucasfilm under the power influence of the president, Kathleen Kennedy. Star Wars boss Kathleen Kennedy says women-led projects bring balance to the Force. This goes back to April 2023. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy says that Ahsoka, Acolyte, and Daisy Ridley's new Star Wars movie signal more women-led projects set in that galaxy far, far away are on the horizon. And she said, I would say definitely. The studio president told Yahoo UK at Star Wars Celebration 2023. She said, we don't set out and say, okay, this is going to be a project led by women. And this is. It evolves that way. And I'm pleasantly surprised to see there's a balance in the Force. Let's put it that way. Because in everything that we've been doing, I think we have attracted some really strong women, both in front of the camera and behind the camera, and that's been thrilling. Something else Kathleen Kennedy said back in 2018. I'd love a woman to make a Star Wars film, but we're waiting for one with experience. These are huge projects. Does Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy have experience? Does she have experience with Star Wars? She made one movie, The Marvels, Miss Marvel, whatever it was. I don't think that, in my opinion, she fits the bill. But she does fit the activist bill. She does fit the agenda that Kathleen Kennedy definitely wants to carry out. What's interesting here is that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy definitely proved that she doesn't know her Star Wars history. She says, and we're in 2024 now, and it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape a story in a galaxy far, far away. Well, what about Lee Brackett? 1978? Wrote the screenplay for The Empire Strikes Back? We know that she died. We know that a lot of the things that she wrote didn't get carried over, but we know that George Lucas gave her a writing credit, and he moved on to Larry Kasdan's screenplay, who took over and made changes to it. But Lee Brackett definitely was someone, a female, in 1978, before Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy was even alive. She shaped a Star Wars story. So what, in fact, is Charmeen saying here? Nothing. It's just ignorance. I grow tired of the virtue signaling that we get from Lucasfilm. CEO Bob Iger of Disney can say whatever he wants to about moving away from the agenda in the political sphere. It's not going to happen as long as people like Kathleen Kennedy are hiring people like this, activist like Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who's destroying any and all interest for the next Star Wars movie. Not that many of us had interest anyways with the return of Rey and that storyline. We are UR Echo Base Network. Let me know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you guys on the next one.